Hello and welcome to part two of Knicks Happy Hour Digest. If you guys tuned in to the part one Happy Hour Digest between Chris, Matt, and myself, Chris had to run out early, and we were only able to give you about 40 to maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So I decided to hop on and just continue the live stream for today, just to give you guys a little bit more, some extra news, Knicks news, and also NBA talk, man. We got to talk about this NBA trade deadline. This has been one of, if not the craziest trade deadlines I've ever been, not even a part of, just what I've seen in my lifetime, yo. Luka Doncic getting traded, AD going to the Mavs. But low key, there's been a couple of moves that might have moved the needle with me. And one of them, obviously in the thumbnail, you guys see DeAndre Hunter going to the Cavs, and another one is someone that went from Atlanta to a West Coast team. But we'll talk about that a little later. But before we dive into today's live stream, guys, I want to remind you guys that only 68 and a half of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Whatever you're doing right now, first and foremost, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave it in the comments. Let us know how much you love Chris and I content. But yo, let's get right into it, man. The trade deadline. Oh my god, yo, I think everybody is still kind of trying to just get back to normalcy after that Luka Doncic trade. I will never understand. I mean, I do understand, the whole weight issues, conditioning issues, all that stuff. I understand why in the long run Nico Harrison made that move. But yo, this is just crazy. Luka is arguably the second best player in the league. Luka is arguably the second best player in the league behind Jokic, obviously, which in my opinion is the best player in the league. But Luka is in the conversation for number two with Giannis, with SGA, Luka, and there's one. Why do I always forget that one player that he's in a conversation with? SGA, Luka, Giannis, whatever. And those are the three names that are coming to mind right now. And then trading him. Oh my God. And of course, the Lakers, they get their next 10 years. They get it solidified now. If Luka's able to get on track with this whole weight conditioning and stamina. But he has LeBron James, man. He has LeBron James, who's the master. There's no denying that LeBron James is the master. I just finding out how to get the most out of your body, how to get the most out of your skills and talent. Oh my God. The Lakers, they always fall on their feet, man. They always fall on their feet. We're going all the way back from George Mikan to Wilt to Magic to Kobe to Shaq to LeBron. Now, Luka. It's like they always have that one player where they can just build the organization around. And it's because of the Lakers. I was talking about this with one of my friends offline. It's the Lakers. That name itself has so much prestige. It's just, they're the only time period where they were actually not great, and they were not great for a while, was the Kobe years, where it was obvious Kobe just can't do it anymore. And you had D'Angelo Russell, Josh Hart got drafted to the Lakers, I believe, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Kyle Kuzma. It was before LeBron got there, but it was towards the end of Kobe's reign. It was maybe 5 or 6 years where the Lakers were just absolutely just trash. And 5 or 6 years for the Lakers, that's 50 years of just being trash for other NBA teams. The Lakers can't afford to be bad. The NBA can't afford the Lakers to be bad. When the NBA is at an all-time peak, the Lakers are good, the Knicks are good, Miami Heat is good, Chicago is good. Now Golden State Warriors are good. There are certain markets where the NBA needs to be good. And the Lakers getting Luka, man, Jesus Christ, man, they're just set. But whatever. Let's get into one of the trades that I'm not saying that I'm scared. Absolutely not. I'm not saying that I'm scared. But that DeAndre Hunter trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers, bro, that is some. I was already not taking the Cleveland Cavaliers serious. And they still got to show it to me. They still got to show it to me in the playoffs. Right now, they're first in the East with a record of 41-10. In their last 10, they're 6-4. So that's something to look at. But yo, being number one in the East, and you arguably got better. They gave out Karis LeVert and Niang alongside 3 second-round picks and 2 pick swaps to get DeAndre Hunter. And that's what the Hawks received in that trade. But DeAndre Hunter, bro. Right now for the season, he's averaging 19 points flat, 3.9 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He's making 6 field goals on 13.3 field goals attempted. That is 46%. 3-pointers, 2.6 on 6.7 3-point attempts. That is about 39.3%. So the volume is there. So he's about a 40% three-point shooter. And if you're anywhere between 37 to like 41, 42%, you consider a good three-point shooter, and he's at 40%. So that's not bad, man. And then when you take a look at whenever he played, when he was with the Atlanta Hawks and he came to the Garden, I believe it was the first 2 or 3 games, the Atlanta Hawks, they took the W against the Knicks. And the more recent one, I believe, was on December 20th with Trae Young. He started playing CeeLo in the middle of the court. Obviously, we didn't like that. But like one of the reasons why the Knicks have a hard time with the Atlanta Hawks is because, first of all, they got Dyson Daniels, who whenever the Atlanta Hawks come to the Garden and whenever we play Atlanta, Dyson Daniels is a taller point guard. He's athletic. He's probably in the consideration for the being Defensive Player of the Year. He gives Jalen Brunson problems. The last time we played him, he was able to foul him out. Okay, cool. We got the W. Jalen Brunson shut everybody up. Cool. But let's not lose sight of Dyson Daniels gives Jalen Brunson problems. And that's one of Jalen Brunson's kryptonite, if you will. If he has bigger point guards, more athletic, more fast point guards guarding him, Jalen Brunson tends to have a difficulty with those. So that's Dyson Daniels. Then you got DeAndre Hunter, which I think was coming off the bench at a particular point during the season. Before he got traded, he might have been in the starting lineup. I'm not sure. I don't follow the Hawks that much. But DeAndre Hunter, dude, I think he's like 6'7", 6'8", long, athletic, not afraid to put it on someone's head. And now the Cleveland Cavaliers get him, bro. The Cleveland Cavaliers get him. And like I said earlier, just about maybe like 20 seconds ago, like I'm still not sold on this Atlanta Hawks team. I still got to see it around April because all this regular season stuff is cute. You know, Donovan Mitchell taking a step back and letting Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Donovan Mitchell taking a step back and allowing those players to flourish and actually grow their games. Salute to you, Donovan Mitchell. But what's going to happen in the playoffs where everything slows down, where the physicality ramps up? Is Donovan Mitchell going to completely throw everything to the side and be like, nah, like this is playoffs, it's different, so now I'm going to step up and now I'm going to basically just take over all the shots that the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kenny Atkinson created? Like Kenny Atkinson, I think in my opinion, I think he's going to be the Coach of the Year. I think he deserves Coach of the Year, obviously, for the work that he's done in the Cleveland Cavaliers this season. Can't think of any other coaches at the top of my head. I mean, OKC, Mark Dagnall. Yeah, Mark Dagnall. He definitely deserves consideration. But what Kenny Atkinson has been able to do this season has been nothing short of just impressive. Being able to get into the mind of Donovan Mitchell and telling him to, like, you might need to take a step back in order for us as a team to flourish. You need these other guys to flourish a lot more. But again, man, April. We got to see in April. Again, Cleveland Cavaliers, who's considered their best player? Donovan Mitchell. What has Donovan Mitchell done in his playoff career? The only time he's been able to get past the first round is in rookie year with the Utah Jazz. And I believe they played the Houston Rockets in the second round. That's when Donovan Mitchell had that crazy tip-in jam. And that was going all over socials. But again, what's the common denominator? Donovan Mitchell is the best player on the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Utah Jazz. And unfortunately, up until this point of his career, the narrative around Donovan Mitchell is, can you win with him? So it's going to be very interesting to see. Right now, if the playoffs started today, the Cleveland Cavaliers are first. And then the 8th seed would be the play-in matchup between the Detroit Pistons and Orlando Magic. I think Detroit would win that. I think Orlando would win that. So Orlando would be the 7th seed. And then Detroit would have to go against the winner of the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. So I'm going to put Detroit at 8. Put Detroit at 8. Cleveland Cavaliers at 1. Cleveland Cavaliers should win that. And it should not go to another 7-game series like they did last year, going up against a rookie playoff contender in Paolo Banchero. But Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs in the first round going up against Detroit. That's if the playoffs started today. The New York Knicks, 3rd seed, would be going up against the Miami Heat. Miami Heat, obviously, they just shipped off Jimmy Butler. And they got Andrew Wiggins back. Hold on, give me a second. Who did the Miami Heat get? God, there's so many, dude. There's so many trades, bro. I'm going through the list. Obviously, I know Andrew Wiggins was a part of it. Okay. So The Heat receive Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, and a 2025 protected first round pick. So Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell go into the Heat, and right now they are the 6th seed. Tyler Hero's an All Star. Bam is Bam. So let's say they stay at the 6th spot, which I think is realistic. So the New York Knicks going against the Miami Heat in 6th. Obviously, I got the Knicks. All I'm having to say is, having said all that, is, dude, I just don't know about Cleveland, bro. But that move for DeAndre Hunter, bro, dude, that's one of the more low key moves that I'm just like, wait, what? And now we got to deal with this? So, whatever. I'll come back around to that trade. But other trades that had me low key like, ooh, that's a really good move for them. I like the Clippers picking up, what was it, Bogdanovich? Yeah, the Clippers got Bogdanovich. The Atlanta Hawks, they got Terrence Mann, Bones Highland. They got a 2025 second-round pick. They got a 2026 second-round pick. They got a 2027 second-round pick. So, Bogey, I'm thinking of Gil's Arena when they call him Boggy. Yo, Gil's Arena, you guys are super annoying, but you guys are super entertaining. Whatever. So, Bogdanovich is going to the Clippers, and the Clippers gave out Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. Bones Highland was buried in the rotation, so they're not really missing much with that. Even though Bones Highland, I think he could be a really good player, bro. He just needs a chance. And last year, he kind of demanded his way out of Denver, which is crazy. He had the perfect situation, but he just wanted more minutes, I think, and he demanded to get traded. He went to the Clippers, and I thought he was going to get more burned, but apparently that didn't work. So now he gets shipped from the Clippers to Atlanta. But that Terrence Mann loss, I think, it's not going to hurt him, but just keep an eye on that. But getting Bogdanovich back, Bogdanovich is looked at as a three-point assassin. And what I like about Bogdanovich, bro, if you watched the Olympics this past summer when it was Serbia, I think, going up against the Avengers, he was talking that talk, bro. He was talking that talk, specifically to Melo. He would hit that three-pointer looking at the side of the crowd and giving the Melo 3 to the dome. I just like players who aren't afraid of the moment. I like players who aren't afraid to step out of their shell, I guess, and show everybody that I'm balling. And the Clippers right now, bro, the Clippers are surprising. Right now, they're 7th. They're 7th with a record of 28-23, 4-6 in their last 10. If the playoffs started today, it'll be Clippers and Dallas going up for that 7th seed. And low-key, I think Dallas, I'm going to get into that. But I think Dallas, they have a good team, bro. If Anthony Davis is able to stay healthy, I think they have a good team. And I'd actually give that W to Dallas. So Dallas would be the 7th seed. And then the Clippers will be going up against the winner between Phoenix Suns and Sacramento Kings. So let's just put Clippers at 8th. So the Clippers would be going up against OKC. So the Clippers with James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, who's been able to play more than 5 games. Congratulations to you, Kawhi. Zubac, Derrick Jones Jr., Eric Gordon, and Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich adds a sniper for James Harden. I'm obviously OKC. I'm still giving that. I'm still giving OKC the W. I'm just seeing if it's going to be an actual challenge to OKC, and I think OKC might get them out in 5, maybe 6. But I really like that move, bro. I really like that move for Bogdanovich for the Clippers. Picking up Bogdanovich. That's one of the low-key moves that I like. Going back to the Eastern Conference. So one of the teams that people have in contention for the Eastern Conference, which I just don't think, because they have Giannis, bro. They have Giannis. That's the reason why everybody has the Milwaukee Bucks in contention. Right now, they're 5th in the East with a record of 27-22. They're 500 in their last 10 with 5-5. And after that NBA Cup, the NBA Cup might have some sort of curse on it, bro. Because if you win it, it seems that you kind of go into kind of a little bit of a tailspin. The NBA Cup, if anything, is supposed to propel you to play better. But the Milwaukee Bucks this year, the Lakers last year, they went on a complete nosedive after winning the NBA Cup. Which is why I think the NBA Cup should be a little later. They have it too early in the season. I think I've thought about this before a lot. I think Christmas Day should be the NBA Cup championship. Maybe not even. Maybe January. Maybe the first couple of days of January should be the NBA Cup championship, and then the NBA should start the NBA Cup. They should start the NBA Cup games a little later than they do because they need to. It's not even about the teams like playing well and whatnot. I'm talking about the NFL and the ratings, all that stuff. It's crazy how Adam Silver, salute to you, my guy. I like what you're doing with all these trades. Nobody has been talking about the Super Bowl, which is in 2 days. Everybody's been talking about Luka and AD, basically. The biggest trade, and then Jimmy Butler, obviously. But Adam Silver, salute to you, my guy. You're fighting back, and I appreciate it. I'm not an NFL fan. I don't watch football. I'm a basketball junkie. Also, Barclays Premier League, EPL all day. Even though I gotta get back on my EPL stuff, I gotta talk to my brother who's a huge soccer fan. I gotta hit him up and just give me the clip notes of like the best teams in each league, La Liga, BPL, all that stuff. But going back to the NBA Cup, I really think that the NBA should start NBA Cup play a little later, and they should have the championship maybe on Christmas Day, or they should have the championship like in the beginning of January. That way the NBA could just stay in the headlines a little bit more. Christmas Day, if you want to keep it to just all the NBA teams, playing, that's cool. And no NBA Cup championship, that's cool. But whatever, that's just what I'm thinking about. But going back to the trade, sorry, I'm going on a tangent every opportunity I get, I guess. But going back to the Milwaukee Bucks and their trade that they made during this trade deadline. So they got Kyle Kuzma and they got they got one of our guys, man. They got Jericho Sims. But they also received 2025 second round pick. They also received the 2026 second round pick. And the Wizards received Chris Middleton. They received AJ Johnson. They received the 2028 first round pick swap. And the Knicks, for the trade of Jericho Sims, we received DeLon Wright. We received draft rights to Hugo Besson and cash. Now, the Spurs, the Spurs were also a part of this deal. They got Patrick Baldwin Jr. and they got cash. So basically what I'm trying to say is the Bucks switched out Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. And I don't really know if that's going to do anything. Kyle Kuzma, like he hasn't been really playing well this season. From what I've seen from the numbers and from what I've seen just like the very, very few highlights I've seen in the Wizards. Like whoever's watching the Wizards, you guys need a friend. Because if you're watching the Wizards, unless you're from Washington, D.C., I don't know why you're doing that. But I don't know, man. I don't have confidence in the Milwaukee Bucks, bro. The whole Dame and Giannis experiment, it just hasn't been working out. And like I always say, April's different. Basketball, the physicality, the pace of play slows down, the defense, everything slows down, and you have more time to scout the other team, to scout the best players, so you never know. And then on top of that, last season, Giannis was out with an injury. Dame was out with an injury. He played like the first 2 games, and he had a nasty calf strain, I believe. So we weren't really able to see Dame being Dame. We weren't able to see Giannis and Dame be together in the playoffs. There's just a lot of question marks, bro. And I'm wondering about Giannis' health too, bro. Now, the last 2 seasons, like I just said, last playoffs, it was a really bad calf strain, like a week prior to the playoffs starting. And then the year before that, he went down with that really bad back injury where he just landed on his back. So kind of the 2 injuries within the last 2 playoffs have been freak injuries. So I get that. But what if he has another injury going into the playoffs this year? Is it time to start questioning Giannis' health? Is it going to be a freak injury, or is it going to be something that's like, yo, this is the last 3 years in a row. We gotta start considering like his health issues. I don't know. That's just something in the back of my mind that I thought about with the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis. The Indiana Pacers, bro. Indiana Pacers, slowly but surely, bro. They're creeping up. 4th in the East right now, 29-21. In the last 10, they're 7-3. Now, of course, you got to take a look at the competition. You got to take a look at the teams that they played. But Chris said that he didn't have them in the play-in. I think he said he had them in the play-in to end the season. And right now they're in 4th. So, I don't know. Chris, you might have to take back your words at the end of the regular season. Because I had them finishing anywhere between 1 through 6. Absolutely. But we'll see what happens with that. So, other trades. So obviously this live, we're talking about the NBA in general. We're not talking specifically about the Knicks, even though I talked about the DeAndre Hunter trade going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I'm still a little worried about. But this live, I should have said in the beginning, sorry, I should have prefaced that. But this live, we're talking about the NBA in general and the crazy trade deadline that was. But before I move on to another trade, I forgot about Jericho Sims, bro. I did mention that in the Bucks trade for Kyle Kuzma for Chris Middleton. And we also mentioned it in part one of our live stream today. We mentioned it very briefly, and I talked about Jericho Sims and how disappointed I was in him. But just to give a little bit more light on that, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel bad, man. I feel bad. Jericho Sims, first of all, get a haircut, bro. I hate the afro, but salute to you. But dude, this goes into a conversation about players not being able to really take advantage of the opportunity they have. And I hate to sound like I'm Switzerland, but you could make the argument that Jericho Sims wasn't given a great opportunity because of Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau, he really relies on his guys. And as far as like, I mean, but you, dude, at the same time, like I'm having these arguments, and like Jericho Sims, you could make the argument that he was Coach Tibbs' guy. But then when he put him out there, it's like, what are you doing? You're just running around with like a chicken with his head cut off. You're just setting screens and you're causing offensive fouls for the screens that you're setting. And like every time he makes a mistake, he looks over to the bench and he's like, I just don't like that, bro. And then you have all these workouts that you had during the offseason, working on turnaround fadeaways with Mike Bibby. It's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? It's like you need to be working on stuff that you're actually going to be able to pull off in a game. I do appreciate that you've been working on your game as a whole, but I also wanted to see if you're putting out clips, you might as well put out clips on like the offense that you're going to be actually doing in the season when Coach Tibbs is using you. A baby hook, a reverse pivot, a spin move, a pivot, up and under. Like, whatever. That's my Jericho Sims 2 cents. Like, always support for you. I'm always going to be hoping that you're doing good. Hopefully you last long in the league. But don't turn into an NBA journeyman because we do know what that looks like. And hopefully you have more success in Milwaukee. But going back to these NBA trades, man. Yeah, Luka and AD, that's obviously a trade. But one of the trades that happened after Luka and AD that is low-key an important trade for the Lakers, I don't know if it's going to help them in the long run. Because after they got rid of Anthony Davis, like, cool, you got Luka, you got Markieff Morris, and you got Maxi Kleber. But Maxi Kleber, I believe, is out for the rest of the season because I think something with his shoulder or something with his foot. He's out for the rest of the season or he's out for a long time, up until maybe the playoffs. So, okay, cool. Maxi Kleber is going to be out for a while. Now you got Markieff Morris. Markieff Morris is more of a rotational bench guy. He's not looked at someone's going to help you. So now the trade is basically Luka. Okay, cool. So you got rid of AD. So where's your interior presence? Where's that defensive anchor that's going to be able to alter shots when guards will be able to break down LeBron and Luka because they don't play defense? LeBron is 40 years old. Luka doesn't play defense. Although, albeit now with this trade, he might be looking to like prove Nico Harrison wrong and all the rumors and all the articles being printed out about him, about not playing defense, the weight issues, his condition, like that's one thing that I'm worried about. I'm worried that Luka is absolutely on demon time. Like you already seen the type of player Luka is when he's mad. Like Luka talks that talk. I could point to countless examples. Look at the game winner he had in the bubble against the Clippers. I think that was in Game 5, leading to a Game 6 series. Look at that game winner he had last year in the Western Conference Finals over Rudy Gobert, where he hit the shot and he's just talking that talk as Rudy Gobert is walking to the bench as a timeout. Like Luka has that. He has that in him, bro. And then now that Nico Harrison is like, dude, like, yeah, you're a top 3 player. You're a top 2 player in the world, but we don't want you. Like, dude, that's scary, bro. Luka is, if he's able to get it right, and this is what I'm saying, having LeBron James as your running mate, having LeBron James as your buddy, being able to teach you the ins and outs of the games is going to be ridiculous, bro. LeBron's going to be able to be like, yo, this is what I do after every game, no questions asked. This is what I eat after every game. This is how many hours I sleep. This is how long I literally sleep in the cryo chamber. Like, he's going to be able to pick up so many things that will elongate Luka's career. And one thing that, again, guys, I go on a tangent, but I love talking basketball, so stay with me. One thing that Anthony Davis, that low-key I think people aren't talking about is one of the reasons why Rob Pelinka made this trade like that was because we have, 5-6 years of Anthony Davis, and we've seen that, like, yo, you're not willing to take up the mantle. You're not willing to put LeBron James to the side and being like, yo, skirt. This is my team. You're about to be 45 years old. You're the king, arguably the second best player in the league of all time. Cool. But Anthony Davis didn't have that in him and being like, yo, this is my team now. We revolve around me. When I put my hand up in the post, you look at me and you give me the ball. And I'm talking to LeBron James. And Anthony Davis, like 5 or 6 years, cool. You got us a chip. Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. But I really think a part of the reason why Kyle Kuzma, Rob Pelinka made that trade is because they've seen enough. Like, they need somebody that's going to be able to demand that type of, like, I'm the man. And LeBron James is going to retire within the next 2-3 seasons, even though this Luka trade might extend that. I don't think so, but that's another conversation for another day. But I think part of the reason was because Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, like, they're like, all right, we've seen all we've seen from Anthony Davis. He's kind of proven to us that he's not going to be the guy to be like, this is my team. You run through me from now on. And on top of that, a team built around Anthony Davis, if he's the best player on your team, I don't know how far that gets you. You got the injury questions. You got just the availability and durability. Like, I don't know how far that's going to get you. So part of the reason why Rob Pelinka made this move is like, nah, we've seen what Luka has done, bro, by himself. Like, he had excuse me. He had nice running mates. He had Kyrie in that finals run last year. They made a trade for Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. Like, he has nice running mate. He's had nice running mates behind him, but Luka was always the guy on the team. So I think part of the reason why they made that trade is because they're like, yo, we need someone, because LeBron James is going to retire soon. We need somebody to carry the mantle, not just on the court, but like jersey sales, ratings, ticket sales, all that stuff, man. The NBA is not a basketball. It's not a national basketball association. It's more so a national business association. But going back to the other trade that the Lakers made, so now that Anthony Davis is out, like I said, they don't have any interior presence. They don't have defensive anchor. So they traded for Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. And who do they ship out? They shipped out Dalton Knecht, Cam Reddish. They shipped out a 2031 unprotected first-round pick. They shipped out a 2030 pick swap. And dude, this is just the cost of doing business with the NBA, bro. Dalton Knecht, the whole season was looked at as one of the bright spots for the Lakers. A 4-year player out of Tennessee, I believe. A rookie, but he's not. He is a rookie, but he has more experience than over some of your traditional rookies who are one and done in college. And he was the one bright spot. And the Lakers are like, nah, we need to beef up this roster, man. We have Luka and LeBron. We need to take every opportunity we can to win. So they got Mark Williams. And part of the reason why they got Mark Williams was because Luka and Rob Pelinka, I believe, they had a meeting and they were just talking about when Luka told Rob Pelinka when he felt that he was more effective. He felt he was more effective when he had bigs being able to roam around the rim and throwing up lobs, a la Daniel Gafford, Lively. I forgot his first name, but Lively. So they picked up Mark Williams. It's a nice pickup. I don't know if that's the long-term answer for their big. But it's a nice pickup for the time being because they're pretty much in scrambles, so that's all good. But I mean, the amount of trades, dog, is ridiculous, bro. I've only been through like 4 or 5. There's a lot more. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but some other Eastern Conference pickups. The Raptors picked up Brandon Ingram. And in picking up Brandon Ingram, they had to ship out Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. I mean, the Toronto Raptors, they're not going to do anything. Brandon Ingram, Toronto Raptors right now, they're in 13th seed. They're 13th seed, 16-35, 6-4 in their last 10. Yeah, they're a joke. And Brandon Ingram, in my opinion, bro, I don't know if I'd want him, honestly. Like, there's been in my opinion, like, cool, your numbers are your numbers. You know what? Let me give you because I hate saying stuff like that. Let me look up specifics as far as like how much he's averaging and stuff. But as far as Brandon Ingram being a winning player, we can take a look at different. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, guys. It's just I'm also looking up stats so I can just give you the actual numbers instead of just saying wild stuff. But what I was gonna say is, as I get the numbers, I don't like what I've seen from Brandon Ingram's career so far. As far as being the best player on your team, that's all cool and that's all well and dandy, but has there been winning behind it? Okay, we got the numbers, finally, thank you. So for the season, he's averaging 22.2 points, 5.6 rebounds, 5.2 assists. He's making 8.6 field goals on 18.5 field goals attempted, which equates to 46.5%. 3-pointers, 2.5 3-pointers made on 6.5 3-points attempted. That is 37.5% from the field. I'm just saying, man, Brandon Ingram, I just don't think he's a winning player, bro. Like, I have a list of players who are not winning players. Lonzo Ball is at the top of the list, bro. Lonzo Ball, get the hell out of here, bro. I am never trading for you if I was a GM. Cool. Get me the analytics when I post up your crossover into a step back 3-pointer for the social media views. Cool. You give me 10 million views on social media. Cool. Ticket sales. Cool. Jersey sales. Cool. I mean, is he even able to sell out that Charlotte Hornets stadium? Whatever. But Lonzo Ball, not Lonzo, damn it. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo. I'm sorry, guys. LaMelo Ball. That's the person I was talking about. He's at the top of the list of not being a winning player. But Brandon Ingram is not that far behind, bro. Brandon Ingram is not that far behind. And as far as like the Toronto Raptors making a move for him, I mean, I get it. You guys are not really doing anything this season, so you guys could be looking to build for your franchise. Cool. And he's a good player, but if you're looking for winning players, I don't think Brandon Ingram's that dude, yo. How long have I been going? I've been going for about a half hour. So I'll go for another half hour, guys. I'll go for another half hour. So now, instead of me talking that talk and talking about all these trade deadlines, time to go into the chat. God, that could be dangerous. But let me go into the chat. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Derek Fernandez. Cavs are definitely going to be a threat now with Hunter there. Yeah, not mad at that. Him 27-22. Him 27-22. Salute to you because that name is crazy. I guess you are him. Cavs are not a threat. They're trash in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not mad at that. 3-point productions. Shout out to you. Bogdanovich is so underrated. 3-point productions. Honestly, the Mavs are going to do better than the Lakers this season. This season, I could agree with you. It depends on Luka's health. It depends on his calf strain because if Luka's healthy, LeBron is playing with, LeBron being LeBron, Mark Williams being able to find his way within the rotation. I mean, it's a hard call, man. I like the Mavericks team too. The one thing about the Mavericks, bro, is that they're putting a little bit too much responsibility on Kyrie. And I mean, we'll see if Kyrie is going to be able to rise to the occasion. But like when Kyrie, oh my God, it's just like when Kyrie is looked at as the best player on the team, look at what he's been able to do. All those years with the Cleveland Cavaliers, when he was with the Boston Celtics, when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, before Kevin Durant came back from his injury and before they traded for James Harden, Kyrie was playing on like a 12 and whatever record team. He wasn't able to really get the team over the hump or whatever. So I'm just saying, Kyrie, I know he's not the best player on the team. Anthony Davis has a case, obviously. But Kyrie is going to be the starting point guard now. So he's going to have more responsibility on his shoulders. And I don't know, man. I don't like Kyrie in that spot. He might be the best Robin of all time. Look at every situation when he was a Robin. LeBron James, they came back down from 3-1. Look at Dallas with Luka Doncic. The Robin, and they make the finals appearance. Kyrie might be the best Robin of all time, bro. Remy Gomez calling me crazy he's calling me crazy when we have all the players. No one can beat the Knicks for sure. Mitchell Robinson, of course. Snipes Entertainment. The NBA is mediocre and it shows with the top 3 teams in each conference. Snipes Entertainment. David Stern's NBA was much better. Hilarious. Tony. Grimes to the Sixers. Quentin Grimes, salute to you. Yo, Tony, if that's your handle and you're playing on Tony, the R&B group, salute to you, bro, because they're one of the best R&B groups of all time. Ricardo, I looked at the Knicks' remaining schedule from March on. That is the toughest remaining schedule in the world. I'll take a look into that later. Enrique Javier, since when did DeAndre Hunter become an elite defender? He's not stopping Brunson or Tatum. LOL. Cavs still ain't making it past the second round. Listen, man, I get it. I get all the Cavs. I get the whole Cavs like hesitation, bro. I get it, man. I'm just saying DeAndre Hunter. I'm not saying he's a defensive elite. I'm not saying DeAndre Hunter is an elite defender, but I'm saying like I think it's an upgrade from Karis LeVert and Niang. So you got to take a look into that. Buzzer beater. Who are my top 5 not winning players? Hold on, let me get through the rest of the comments and I'll get into that. Prophet DJS. I still believe LeBron is going to leave. Okay. Josh Smooth. We finished with Tibbs. We done. Interesting. Up to no good. The NBA will rig it. So Cleveland plays the Lakers in the finals. The narrative is there. Cavs best record. LeBron old team versus Lakers with LeBron and Luka. I'm not mad, man. I'm not mad at that. Josh Smooth. Get ready for a big headache with Tibbs. Yeah, I saw this. Up to no good. Your comment about the NBA rigging the NBA finals. Yo, I just don't like the conversation, bro. I don't like how, like, when the whole betting stuff, I don't bet. And I don't like when the whole betting stuff started. And I don't like the narrative about the refs making calls for certain players at certain times. Like, I get it. There's always like a story behind the story. I understand that. But golly, man, what happened to the essence of the game, the purity of the game? And if you guys caught part 1 of the live stream earlier today with Chris and Matt, Chris was talking about how Ariel Hukporti and the Knicks don't want to play him that much because they don't want to offer him that money. So if they give him playing minutes, he's going to be able to show his repertoire. And then the more he plays well, then the Knicks are going to pay him well. Like, that is absurd, bro. And that kind of goes into this point. Is like, why is there so many stories behind the story? Like, the essence of the game, the purity of the game. Just play, bro. Stop with all this stuff. But it's a National Business Association. I get it. But to read your quote again, the NBA will rig it so Cleveland plays Lakers in the finals. The Cavs have the best record. LeBron's old team versus the Lakers with LeBron and Luka. Like, yo, I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm not mad at that, man. Like, I'm not mad at the conspiracy theories, bro. It's crazy. Buzzer beater. Will TJ Warren still be around when the salaries are prorated on March 1st? I don't care if TJ Warren, get him out of here, bro. I don't know about the numbers. I don't know about the contracts. Chris would be able to better answer that. All I know is that TJ Warren is a bubble player, bro. Why were you able to drop 45 and 50-point games in a bubble, but literally ever since then, you haven't been able to stay on a team? The Indiana Pacers, the Knicks G League. Like, why have you, I think he was on Phoenix Suns for a while. Why have you been able to crack a rotation, bro? Like, TJ Warren, I'm good off that. Josh Smooth, our best bet is to get Moses Brown. Moses Brown, who's been killing in the G League. Salute to you, Moses Brown. Queens native. Queens get the money. Queens all day, every day. Queens get the money, long time, no cash. You heard? Josh Smooth, develop Mitch. Trade Mitch for a good wing. Yikes. Jadedness. Salute. Brunson ain't been playing like he used to. I'm not sure exactly in what context you're giving that. But I guess just to like give you a little bit of an answer regarding that is, you know, it's not that he's taking a step back with Karl Anthony Towns with his emergence on this team. But you can tell that Jalen Brunson, he's just like giving Karl Anthony Towns a little bit more room to flourish, to really find his way. And that's why that's why I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Luka Doncic 10 times out of 10. Yeah, I said it. And I put out a video last Saturday or Sunday, I believe. I put out a video talking about I'm taking Jalen Brunson 10 times out of 10 over Luka. The thumbnail is Jalen Brunson looking at Luka Doncic like, are you kidding me? Go check out that video. Run the views up, baby. But I talked about that, man. Jalen Brunson, like, I called it. I called it with Luka. Since he was a rookie, I didn't like the talk about the NBA media claiming him a better player than Larry Bird or comparing him to Larry Bird. Like, there was something that I saw about Luka Doncic that I didn't like the way he carried himself. And as the seasons prolonged, as the season progressed, and you saw his weight getting up and up in numbers, like, there was something I didn't like about him. And then all of a sudden, Nico Harrison trades him, arguably a top two player in the world. Like, oh my God, that whole Luka stuff, like, I was so happy that I was vindicated. I was so happy that my feelings and my take of him were verified. But whatever. Go check out that video. Let's see. Josh Smooth. Tibbs had to be forced to play Hukporti. He don't even like Huck. This 9-man rotation ain't going nowhere. We banged up. No rest with Tibbs. I mean, yeah, there's that. Tony. I'm gonna call it Tony. I'm calling you Tony Tone for this live because R&B. Lay your head on my pillow. You know what it is. I hope they don't sign Taj Gibson again. Yo, we were talking about that in live stream part 1 earlier today. We were just talking about the buyout market, and the Knicks, I believe, aren't able to sign anybody making over 12 milli. Because I think they're like a second apron team or something. Give me a second. I have the exact quote from Ian Bagley. Yes, they are first apron team. They cannot sign a player who was bought out and had a previous salary of 12.8 million or more. And Taj Gibson falls within those parameters. He does not make 12.8 million more or more. And yeah, we were talking about that. And as much as we love Taj Gibson and as much as Taj Gibson for president, maybe it's time for another veteran big if we go for a veteran big. AP or app. Knicks are going to be a second round exit for the next few years. Interesting. Damn, Tony Tone. Rather sign Eddie Curry than Gibson. Sheesh. Yeah, Eddie Curry, bro. Salute to you, man. Salute to you for your tenure with the Knicks. I remember there was a season where you were arguably an all-star player. I think you were averaging like 19 and maybe like 9 or 8 or something like that. But you didn't make the all-star team. But Eddie Curry came in the same draft as Tyson Chandler, I believe, going to the Chicago Bulls, and they were going to be the new Twin Towers. But I like growing up watching Eddie Curry, bro. Like, he was a lot bigger. He was obviously a lot bigger than everybody else. Not even just his height, but like he was like a big player. Like, he kind of reminded me of a kind of like a tractor trailer, RIP tractor trailer, but a bigger version of tractor trailer. Where like you look at him and his physique, and you're like, how is he in the NBA? But then when you give him the ball, he has all these post moves. He has all this strength. So salute to you, Eddie Curry, wherever you are. Hopefully you're alive and well and healthy and all that good stuff. Up to no good. Yeah, I'm saluting Eddie Curry, bro. Okay, so going back, I think it was Up to No Good. Was it Up to No Good that asked me my top 5 non-winning players? I'm just trying to make sure. Maybe it was someone else. Oh, no, it was Buzzer Beater. I'm sorry. Buzzer Beater. Who are my top 5 not winning players? This is a great question. Never saluting Vin Baker. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Green, we ain't getting past the Cavs. AP. They cashed all the chips for Mikal Bridges, 5 first-round picks. Now they can't make any meaningful moves without trading a starter. We're stuck. Josh Smooth. Kevin McKellar is a good defensive player in the G League and a good shooter. Moses Brown is a great center that can take over for Mitch, and we get a great wing. Yo, Moses Brown, somebody in the chat asked me my thoughts about Moses Brown. Like, yo, the numbers he's putting up is nice, but don't get it twisted. That's G League numbers. There is a difference between G League and the Knicks and the NBA. Salute to you, Moses Brown, Queens get the money, long time, no cash, all that stuff. Love it. But there's a difference why he wasn't able to crack the rotation with Portland, with Indiana. I think he was with the Clippers at one point. But there's a reason why he's not able to crack the rotation. So Moses Brown, if you get your opportunity, like all those numbers in the G League, what up? Were they fugazi? Or what's up? Come on, man. If you get your opportunity, you got to go out there. And don't look. I hate players that get their opportunity and they get on the court and they're looking to play as if like they don't want to make a mistake. Go out there on the floor and do what you do, bro. Straight up. So Moses Brown, if you get your opportunity, prove to Tibbs that you need a rotation spot, bro. Like, God, I hate this stuff. Blackness. We just need to get healthy when it counts. Let Brokeback, OG, and Mitch wait till April. Dead. Okay, buzzer beater. Not my top 5 not winning players currently. Not Lonzo. LaMelo. I keep saying Lonzo. Stop. I'm talking to myself. LaMelo, number 1. No question. Throw some names in the chat too, because right now I'm just thinking about Brandon Ingram and LaMelo. So LaMelo is number 1. Also, let me see. Let me go through. Let me see if there's any players that come up. LaMelo's number one. There's no question. Nobody's taking over LaMelo's spot. Brandon Ingram is in the conversation. He's 2 through 5. I don't know exactly where he lands. Hold on. Let me see. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Damn. I'm going through the trades to see if that sparks any names in my mind. But the Pacers gave up James Wiseman to the Raptors. And the Pacers received a 2026 second round pick. Damn, man, James Wiseman, bro. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen for him, bro. He was just put in a bad situation, getting drafted to the Warriors, and then he tore his Achilles tendon. Like, oh man, I really wish he turns it around, bro. I really wish things start falling for him. I'm keeping my James Wiseman stock. If any of you guys want to crack on that. Let's see. That Spurs trade. The name, De'Aaron Fox. Now I'm not gonna say that he's a not winning player, because he did lead his team to the playoffs 2 seasons ago, and I think they were the second or third seed. But the thing is, every time I talk about De'Aaron Fox, I always bring up the fact that I thought they should have won that series. Game 7, Steph goes nuclear for a 50 burger ball. But I remember when the Lakers got eliminated by when the Warriors got eliminated by the Lakers in the second round in 6 games, all the quotes coming out from the Warriors camp after they got eliminated was how much turmoil they were going through, because that was in the beginning of that season. Draymond Green just gave Jordan Poole a nice little Merry Christmas, and all the quotes were just like, that Warriors team was just so like in flux. Like nobody was messing with each other, and Draymond Green was the reason for that. But the reason why I bring that up is because, like, yo, De'Aaron Fox, like you're at the time you were considered the best player on that team. Like, you couldn't lead your team past a Golden State Warriors team that they literally were not. They were like kind of not messing with each other. They weren't talking to each other. There was like lines being drawn. Like, De'Aaron Fox, you couldn't lead your team past that. It's a bonus. Like, it all doesn't just fall on De'Aaron Fox. But yo, I don't know, man. The way that they weren't able to get past the Warriors that playoff series, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Pause with De'Aaron Fox. I'm not saying that he's a non-winning player. I'm not saying that at all. But he's someone that I'm looking at and I'm like, I don't know, man. Let me keep an eye on your career. Now teaming up with Wembanyama, like, and the Spurs didn't really give up a lot either. They gave Castle still part of the team, Chris Paul still a part of the team, Jeremy Sohan is still part of the team. I'm not saying that they need to win a championship within the next 2-3 years. Absolutely not. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I want to see you have these incremental steps in your career, bro. Like, you by now, what year is he in? He's maybe close to 10 years, anywhere between like 7 to 10 probably. Like, you should have made it also depends on the roster management as well, man. So there's just a lot that goes into it. But let me see. Oh, how can I forget? James Harden. Stop. You guys, I don't care what you guys are going to say in the comments, but James Harden's not a winning player. Not a winning player. I'm going to leave it at there because the comments are going to go crazy probably. But let me go back into the chat and let me see what you guys have been saying. Ooh, Blackness, Zach LaVine. Maybe you were throwing Zach LaVine into the conversation with not winning players. Ooh, that's a good one. Josh Smooth. I would keep Mikal, but he got to change his shot back. I'm crying. Buzzer beater. Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, DeMar DeRozan. Brandon Ingram, obviously, he's in the conversation. RJ Barrett, I don't think is in the conversation because he's just not on the. I don't know if he's on the level of a LaMelo, of a Brandon Ingram, of a James Harden. Like, RJ Barrett isn't on that level, which is why I'm not even considering him. DeMar DeRozan might. DeMar DeRozan. Jadenist, stupid trade Bucks did. Traded Middleton for scrub Kyle Kuzma. Don't understand that trade. Blackness, James Wiseman over Marvin Bagley III. I'm telling you, man, James Wiseman, he was just dealt a really bad hand, bro. Hopefully he can turn it around. Tony Tone. Bagley would be a great pickup. I don't know. He's been kind of an NBA journeyman. Josh Smooth. I think we lost the trade with Sims, but we need an extra slot. They definitely not letting DeLon Wright play. I don't know, man. I don't know about Jericho Sims. Tony Tone. Wiseman will be good. Josh Smooth. DeLon is trash. Tony Tone. Twin Towers. AP. I have no idea what Leron Rose. Yo, sometimes I can't speak. Is possibly going to do forward. They're going to be a second round team for years to come. I'm telling you. Josh Smooth, they said Wiseman a bust. Blackness, Spurs will be good in a year or two. They liked the Thunder a little while ago. John Striker. None of it matters. The Knicks will never win until they get a head coach not trapped in 1995. Hashtag fire Tibbs. Sheesh. Buzzer beater. I forgot about Harden. Excellent choice. Josh Smooth. I would take Dwight Howard. Tony Tone. Kings Beasto. Josh Smooth. Harden. Too much money. Blackness. Dwight got a ring though. Multi-time defensive player of the year. Tony Tone. See King spank Lakers. AP. John Striker absolutely right that he is not a finisher. Buzzer beater. Zion. Is Zion on the list? Right after that, is Julius Randle on the list? Blackness. Zion is the phase-on love of NBA. I'm crying. Josh Smooth. Zion want to play for the Knicks. I would get him for the low. Stop. No. Stay away from Zion, bro. There's too much of a question mark. Way too much of a question mark. I'm sorry. I get it. Zion, all the highlights. 360 in between the leg dunk. Love it. And he's been able to get his weight down. Salute to you, Zion, for taking all that criticism, taking all that flack, and turning it into what you look like now. My man's looking chiseled. My man's looking like a fire hydrant. Congratulations to you, man. But I would steer clear of Zion. I'm sorry to say, man. I just don't think he's gonna have a long career. It's not even about injury prone. It's just, you also got to take into consideration the amount of injuries that he's taken to the body. Like, that does have a lasting effect. The hamstrings, and he was playing super overweight for an extended period of time. Like, all that stuff has a lasting effect on your body, bro. And I don't think Zion's going to last in the league. I don't think he's going to be in the league for about, like, a 10 to 14-year run. So that's just me personally. But going back to the top 5 not winning players, there were a couple of good ones that Buzzer Beater threw out. Zion and Julius Randle. So far on the list, I have LaMelo Ball. I got Brandon Ingram. I got James Harden. Those are not in that particular order. But Zion, I think it's still too early for Zion. Oh, De'Aaron Fox and Zion Williamson, they're honorable mention right now. Julius Randle, I don't know, man. It's a conversation, but we also got to take a look at his tenure with the Knicks. Like, he was the best player on the team when he brought us to the playoffs. Albeit, we lost in the first round in 5 games to the Atlanta Hawks. But we had Derrick Rose, Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks on that team. Like, the talent wasn't really there, but the way the defenses just completely shut him down and he wasn't able to, like, readjust his game. You could also talk to me about Coach Tibbs not having that ability as well. I'm saying it's a conversation with Julius Randle. It's something that we got to take a look at. So he's honorable mention. So we got Zion, we got Julius Randle, and De'Aaron Fox. Those are the 3 honorable mentions. But as far as the 3 solidified players, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and James Harden. AP. You know, I have the Knicks 95-96 yearbook, and Coach Tibbs is in it. Hilarious. Finesseful J. I don't want to ruin a good thing, but he takes Zion. Or she. I mean, I get it, man. I get why you guys would take it, but I'm off that. Up to no good. Anthony Edwards. It's still too early. But I don't think it's a nice name to throw out there, but I think you can easily have the conversation and being like, he does not deserve to be in this conversation because Western Conference Finals already, even though they lost in 5. But, you know, the way he played against the Denver Nuggets in the semifinals last year, like, I don't think he's in there yet. But the way this season's looked, it's definitely open eyes. I'll say that. But you can also make the conversation, the addition of Julius Randle, all that stuff. So there's a lot of other things at play. John C. Let's see Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG, Cat, Mitch starting 5 with Hart playing more minutes than Mitch, but coming off the bench. Knicks fans 5 S quote Knicks fan 5 end quote B. We talking current or all time? We're talking current. Not winning players. Current top 5 not winning players. Buzzer beater. If Zion came to the Knicks, all of that bad crap goes away. He doesn't want to be in New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, it's obvious he doesn't want to be in New Orleans Pelicans. Like, the organization is horrendous, the way they handle stuff. Buzzer beater, Tibbs coddled Randall. Buzzer beater, don't forget DeMar DeRozan. Oh yeah, DeMar DeRozan he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation. Buzzer beater. What criteria do you use to evaluate a player's effectiveness? I don't know what everybody else uses. Literally, me personally, I use the eye test. The player's effectiveness. That's all I do. I use the eye test, baby. I played pro, even though it was in the NBA, obviously, but I did play pro after college, and I know this game. I know what I'm talking about, and I just go off the eye test and what I see. What I see with Precious is what frustrates me. He could be a good player, but there's like little things that's like, it's just like some basketball IQ, some like just little stuff, man. Precious has been turning it around little by little. I'm a little surprised at the way he's been playing. I'll give you that. But again, it all comes down to April, and we got to see what Precious does. We got to see what Ariel Hukporti, if he gets minutes in the playoffs. We just got to see how these players react to certain situations, because what you do in November, January, February, like that's all sweet and cute, but it really depends on when the lights are on the brightest. And I'm not even talking about Precious. I'm talking about Cat. I'm talking about Cat as well. You guys know my stance ever since we got Cat. The numbers are great in the regular season. The All-Star selections are great in the regular seasons. But what are you going to do when April comes around, where you've been in the playoffs before, but you've shown us the basketball IQ. You've shown us how you just aren't able to lead a team past the first or second round as you being the best player. So whatever, that's that. So that's how I grade somebody's effectiveness. Ooh, up to no good. Jimmy Butler is number 1. That's crazy, bro. He led his team to the NBA Finals twice, bro. The bubble and against Denver. Like, you can't say he's not a winning player. Like, I get all the other stuff around his name, around what's going on with him, and the way he forced his way out of Miami, but I'm sorry, bro. You can't look away from those 2 finals appearances. Like, legendary run, going to the finals when he matched up with Denver. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. Jimmy Butler's not in the conversation. Buzzer beater. I played at Malloy College. That's in Rockville Center, New York. And then I played in Mexico for 2.5 years after college. Someone mentioned in the group chat, they were talking about the starting 5 with OG, Cat, Mitch, and talking about Josh Hart getting minutes off the bench. Yeah, this is something that Matt and I, Chris, we talk about. When Mitch is finally able to play, Matt and I agree that Mitch is going to be in the starting 5, no question. And Josh Hart is going to be coming off the bench. But Chris thinks that Mitch is going to, when he comes back, obviously he's not going to be in the starting 5 because he needs to get his stamina up. He needs to get the feel of the game back. But like when Mitch comes back and then like maybe like 2-3 weeks later, and if it's before the playoffs or right before the playoffs, Chris thinks that the starting 5 is going to remain the same. When OG comes back, it's going to be Jalen Brunson, Mikal, OG, Josh Hart, and Cat. So I think the smart move would be to put Mitch in the starting 5 right away, get Josh Hart off the bench. That way we get some more bench depth, and that way Josh Hart gets a little bit more assimilated to coming off the bench. Mitch gets assimilated to starting in the 5 at the 5 spot. I think that'll be the best way to go. Yo, this playoffs is gonna be interesting, bro. Not even just for the Knicks, but just in general, bro. With the Lakers, with Dallas, with the Clippers, OKC. Are they finally gonna be able to take that step? Chet Holmgren is coming back soon, I believe. I think today if they play, or I think I saw something that he's coming back very, very soon, like within the next couple of days. OKC, Denver with Russell Westbrook, even though he has a hamstring injury. Like, yo, Denver, Jokic and Denver, what they've been able to do at the third seed right now, 33-19, 73 in their last 10. Like, I'm super surprised at that. I just did not think that Schroeder, Christian Brown, I didn't think that those players were going to be able to help Jokic to be this high of a seed. Like, I thought they were going to be anywhere between like the 7, maybe like 5 through 10. 5 through 10. I did not think they were going to be sniffing the third seed. And they're what? They're 2.5 games back of the 2 seed, which is the Memphis Grizzlies. God, Jokic is a monster, bro. All right, I'm going to read some of these comments. And then I'm going to sign off, guys, because it's 5:30. We've gone for an hour. Thank you for tuning in to this part 2 Knicks Happy Hour live stream. Dariel going solo. Dariel, your boy all day, every day. Let me go back into the comments. Let me see. Buzzer beater uses the net rating. Do you consider that at all? I mean, I'll take a look into it, bro. I take a look into it. I'll take a look at the numbers, obviously, but I really go off of eye test. Sorry. John C. I think the Knicks starting 5 is flexible. It depends on the matchup. If you play Cleveland, we put Mitch in the 5. John C. Mitch would be a great matchup going up against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. John C. But against Boston, we should bring Mitch off the bench. Tony Tone, take Josh Hart off the starting lineup, please. Gregory Kinchin is going to be an awesome day when Mitch comes back. John C., do you think Mitch would cook Evan and Jared Allen in the Cleveland series? I mean, he did, didn't he? Two years ago? And Jared Allen had that quote, the lights were more brighter than we expected. But this time it might be a little different, though, because Mitch is not... Our playoff time is... Whenever we see Cleveland Cavaliers, if it's in the Eastern Conference Finals, semifinals, whatever, Mitch, hopefully he gets enough run, bro. Hopefully he gets enough run to get acclimated to the feel for the game again. Mitch has been out for a while, bro. Mitch has been out for a while, so it might be a little different. I don't know if we can expect Mitch to completely sun Jared Allen and Evan Mobley like we did 2 seasons ago. Yeah, 2 seasons ago. Jadenness. Nobody want to see Boston first round. Tony Tone. This season's unpredictable. All right, guys. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live. I do know it was kind of short notice. And we talked a lot, bro. We talked a lot about just the trade deadline that was. I talked to you about the low-key trades that I think are really going to have some impact. I talked about DeAndre Hunter. That's something that I'm going to have to keep an eye on. Bogdanovich going to the Clippers. That could be a really good pickup for the Clippers. Hopefully he stays healthy. We talked about winning players. We talked about Jericho Sims, Luka, AD. But I want to say thank you so much for tuning into this live. Your boy Dariel solo trying to hold it down. Thank you for all the comments, the questions, for interacting with me. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The deuce is loose for co-MVP. OG Anunoby for a speedy recovery, my guy. Speedy recovery. And even though some of us don't want Taj Gibson, it's always going to be Taj Gibson for president. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Peace. Queens!